Hi everybody, welcome back to Small Caliber Arms Review. I'm Richard, and today I finally got my hands on the Heritage Rough Rider Rancher. This is their first carbine. It's a small caliber carbine, 22 caliber to be exact, but you can interchange the cylinder and put the 22 magnum on there, which gives it a little more oomph, maybe makes it a little more fun. Now it does not come with the magnum cylinder, it only comes with the 22 long rifle cylinder. But this one's got a buttstock on it and the 16¼ inch barrel, which makes it legally a rifle. It also comes with a nice little leather sling, an attachment point on the barrel and one on the buttstock. And it's pretty cool. I've always liked the revolving carbines, and Heritage finally made one that's fairly inexpensive. It's going to cost you more than would your average Rough Rider, but it's a lot more affordable than even the black powder revolving carbines and the like the 1873 revolving carbines, and it's definitely going to be a lot less expensive than some of the originals. It's a pretty cool little setup. I've always liked the revolving carbines, and I really want some of the bigger caliber ones, but this one is new for 2020. They released at the end of 2019, and they said that they would ship before Christmas, but it was such a limited supply and they really became hard to get a hold of. But finally they're starting to appear in stores now. I bought this one online, picked it up in person, and it's just Heritage. I mean, in the beginning I really didn't care for the Heritage too much because of this little safety right here on the back of it, and that just kind of turned me off from the Heritage. But then I bought one and another and another and another. I got a couple of them anyways, but when I saw this one coming out, I thought I have got to have one of these just because I really like the revolving carbines. All right, now it's a 6-shot revolver, and just like all the rest of them, all you got to do is pull it back to the half cock once you've fired your 6 rounds, open up your loading gate, and then you've got your ejector rod right over here, and you can pop them all out. And that's it. All right, loading the Rancher is just as easy, and I've got some Remington 22 shorts here. Now this firearm will handle shorts, longs, and long rifles, and all you got to do is drop them in. Got your loading gate open, the hammer in the half cock position. That lets the cylinder rotate. It only rotates one way, which is cool. I like that because it lines up. It's easier to line it up with your ejection rod when you go to kick them out. Now they suggest, again, like a lot of the single action Army revolvers, is that you only load 5 in there. Now I'm out on the range, so I'm not going to be moving around with it a whole lot, so I'm not too worried about the hammer resting on a empty chamber in the cylinder. And another nice thing about this one is it has this safety over here, which is it's a hammer block safety that goes in there. That will not let the hammer fall down and contact the firing pin. All right, now even though I've got 6 shots of 22 short in here, and the shorts are a lot quieter than the longs and the long rifles, it's still a good idea to wear hearing protection with this because hearing damage is cumulative and eventually you'll destroy your hearing. Now, one of the things you do not want to do with this firearm, and it's going to take a little getting used to, is most of the time when you're shooting a rifle, you want to put your supporting hand up in the front here. It's a bad idea with the revolving carbine because you've got a little bit of a cylinder gap there. It's the distance between the end of the barrel, or the forcing cone on the barrel, and the end of the cylinder itself. And what happens is a little bit of gases will come out of there, and it can cause some damage. Every now and then you might get some little shrapnel, little pieces of metal come out of there, and they can actually embed into your skin. Now on the older ones, especially the black powder ones, the biggest problem you'd have with those, if you had your hand out here and you had a chain fire, which is some of the burnt powder or burning powder would fall down here and hit another chamber in the cylinder and touch it off. You've got your hand out here, that round will come out of that chamber, or out of that chamber in the cylinder, and shoot yourself in the back of the hand, unintentionally obviously. That's what this little piece here is for. You're going to take your supporting hand and put it here, or if you see Lee Van Cleef in the movie for a few dollars more, he actually grabs his arm here. He has a little different setup. He actually has a pistol with an attachable rifle stock on it. You can't do that here because laws have changed, and that becomes a SBR, or a short barrel rifle, and you need a $200 tax stamp just to do that. Go figure. But anyways, you want to take your supporting hand and put it right there. Catch your finger in there, then your trigger finger goes on here. Pull it up against your shoulder, and you're ready to go. Ah, I have the safety on. See, that's a nice thing about it, is that safety keeps that hammer from hitting that firing pin. Let's go ahead and pull the safety down. Try it again. That's it, 6 shots of 22 short. Definitely a lot quieter than the 22 long rifle, but still not hearing safe anyways. It's a pretty cool little gun. All right, I took 12 shots on the target up here. I took some body shots, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right in there. And up here I took some head shots. There's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They pretty much hit just where I wanted them. It's a pretty good shooting rifle. Now, I didn't have it in a stand or anything, so all of that was offhand shooting, and it's a pretty good shooting little rifle. Now, revolving carbines are in a few of the movies. They're not that popular in the movies either, but if you've seen the movie 310 to Yuma, that
Mexican sharpshooter,
he has a revolving carbine with a really long scope on it. And also, if you've seen Hateful Eight, Kirk Douglass has a revolving carbine he uses to kind of guard his prisoner. All right, now revolving carbines have been around since like the 1830s. They never really caught on because of the danger of chain fires or shooting yourself in the back of the hand, or the habit of putting your supporting hand up there and causing damage to your wrist or arm. But they're really some of my favorites, even though they were not as popular as what I wish they would have been. So that kind of really drives the price up when they're not real common. But to me, they're just a really cool firearm. And the Heritage makes a nice, inexpensive one, and they're a breeze to take care of. All you got to do is on this side, there's a little pin right here, and you've got your center pin you pull out. Once you've got that out of there, you just roll your cylinder right out. Easy to get in there and clean that up. You can clean the face of it up, clean all the chambers up, and you can run you a bore snake right through here and pull it right out of the end. Easy rifle to take care of, easy pistols to take care of too if you've got any of the Heritage pistols, and really inexpensive, especially the pistols. I've seen the pistols as low as $99 with both cylinders if you catch them on sale. Most of the time with both cylinders, they're going to cost you about $130 or somewhere around there. Nice thing about this one though is it makes it easier to take the 100-yard shots. Let's give that a try. Right, one of the nice things about the Rancher is it comes with a sling, so it makes it pretty easy to carry. You don't need a holster for it. Of course, that'd take a pretty long holster to hold this thing anyways. But I've got the 100-yard target up here somewhere. We're going to try to give it a few shots and see if I can hit it. Not too bad. I got 5 out of 6. I think it was 5 out of 6 anyways. A little harder to hear with the earplugs in, but that was 22 long rifle, 100-yard shots. I've got the sights down pretty much as low as they'll go, so it did all right at 100 yards. All right, if you ask me, the Rancher is a pretty good looking little rifle. It's got a nice, I believe it's a walnut, a hardwood stock on it. It's got some pretty nice checkering on the grip there. It's a aluminum alloy frame. It has a steel cylinder, steel barrel on it. The ejector rod in there has plastic on the end. I mean, it's a trade-off, you know. If it's going to be metal, it's going to cost you more. There's a reason that they're so inexpensive, is because they're made from inexpensive materials. But it's a pretty good shooting little rifle, and it's easy to carry with the sling, so that's not bad. Now the price of this, I paid, I think it was like $269 for it, which is a little high for a Heritage, I think. But right now they're freshly out in the stores, so you're gonna pay a little bit more. They're kind of driving it up a little bit, I think. But I'm sure that in the future, once these things become more prevalent, that you're gonna see them out there. You'll see them on sale for around the $200 mark, maybe even a little bit less. But if you like the old revolving carbines, this is a pretty cool choice without having to spend $700-800 on one of the larger caliber ones. And it's just about as fun. It's 22, so it's a whole lot cheaper to shoot than 45 or 38 or anything like that. 22 is the cheapest, and it's probably the most fun. Nice little leather strap on it. It's kind of got an odd latching or adjustment system on here, but it works. The little swivel studs on there are sling studs. So it makes it really convenient to throw it over your shoulder and go out there in the woods, or out in the town or whatever, but you know how it is. Anyways, if you could hit this button up here to check out some of my other videos, hit this button right here to subscribe if you haven't already, and thanks for taking a look at the Heritage Rough Rider Rancher with me.